Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away. Sorry, guys. I was trying to get the music to cut off. Okay. Anyways. Oh, and there's the music again. Okay. We're good now. We're good. Sorry about that. Anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's good to see everybody in here. It's a Sunday live. Are you guys ready to go back to work if you do tomorrow? Because I'm not looking forward to it. I don't go back to work, but I do, have to get back on the grind with the business and all. So, someone the other day was in the comment section and they're like, "You don't even work." And I'm like, "Well, no, that's not true. I do own a business there, ma'am." You know how that goes. Well, you guys do because I tell you. But welcome in. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tanya or Titanium Built, and it's good to see you. It's good to have you guys in here. Thanks to the mods for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I see baby girls in here. I'm sure that if I go down, I think we'll see someone else. There's Ladybug. I was like, hold on a second. And Mary Beth's probably getting her house in order. I do want to thank Sirius and Extreme Blonde for going and getting Daniel last night. That was nice to have somebody come on panel with me because I don't have a lot of people that come up and talk about the Idaho 4 case and actually know a lot of the details that maybe I might have missed, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let me show the comments. Let me make sure I got everything ready to go for the live and we'll get right into it. We're going to talk about Bryan Kohberger. Oh man, there'll be a day where we don't say that name anymore, but I don't know. After trial, it'll probably be more like jail calls and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping for that. But like I said, thanks for being here. If you guys don't mind, just take a quick second, hit the like button. I do appreciate you. I do see everybody in the chat. It's good to see everybody. And Walt, where you been? I meant to ask you last night.
Hey, True Crime Lullabies. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Hey, Tom. Hey, Tony. I'm just kind of like whizzing by everybody, but thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it so much. If you guys have any questions from last night, hey, Machichi, throw them in the chat and maybe put like, to get my attention, put like maybe like those little like bomb things, like they look like firecrackers or something. That usually helps. Yeah, baby girl, I think so too. It like a different like he's a different perspective, I mean, we agree on a lot, but a different perspective. I like that. And I also have been doing some sleuthing today. And let's just say we're going to have a live tomorrow. I think we're going to do it. We're going to go back and we're going to go back in time on the channel. If you haven't been here for like over a year, we used to, I need Ashley. Where's she at? She would like solidify my stuff here. But we used to go through, like I used to watch all the Idaho 4 content out there. I used to watch, it all. To the point where like it was too much content, like it was frying my brain. So what we would do is I would see stuff, and I would debunk it. Like I'm like, well, that's untrue. But here within the last like year, I haven't done that really because I haven't been watching anything. That's Idaho 4. Like, other than what I, watched to get ready for the show. Up until probably like a few, I don't know, it's probably been like a couple weeks. Here and there I would, like I'd catch like Daniel's show here and there, but he's usually like live when I'm live. But I would catch like his show, and there's not much more. Like, because you guys would send me over there, too. And yeah, there's not like a lot of people I would really like recommend. I don't know who all covers Idaho 4. Like right now, I'm still getting into it, but my For You page is like the other side of Idaho 4. I don't know. I've never seen this side before. So I'm just like, okay. But somehow I got onto my Twitter. I have a point with this because it's going to be really good. I got onto my Twitter and somehow I didn't know that you guys were doing something. I don't know if it was like mentioning or tagging me, or I don't know. I didn't know that you guys were doing that for the last 2 years. So I happened to click on a video that somebody reposted onto Twitter for me. They shared out my video, and it was a video of me going through a video of harsh realities and just debunking it. Like, I don't even think I ended up watching the full video. Like at the end, I was just like, I can't even do this anymore. Like, it's pretty funny. The video's hilarious. It's 7 minutes long. It's on my page right now, but I think I'm going to play it for you guys tomorrow because it is hilarious. I mean, it's just funny. He was saying that he was getting like harassed by the Gonzalez's, and he wasn't. I mean, the pictures he says that they were using to harass him was pictures he had posted himself on his own Twitter. So it was like, you put these out there. I don't know. Also, the video that we didn't watch it, but we watched a clip of it last night. You guys didn't see it in Daniel's video. I don't know how he got it like out of there, like the watermark. But the person that's putting out the video is saying that this woman was arrested last night. The woman that we were talking about was arrested for meth. Well, she wasn't. They didn't find meth. She wasn't arrested for it. So, which has a title or a thumbnail that says that, you go to sleuth. So I sleuthed around and I found 8 months ago, this video was uploaded by another creator. Just so happens they have the watermark in the same spot. That's just weird to me. That's just weird. I'm just saying it's weird. You can take with what you want, but I did put it on my Twitter. I said, if people are going to watch it, because it's like all over Twitter right now, and if people are going to watch the video, I feel like the person that put it out first, like the watermarks are literally the same. Like she like covers her watermark with like over his watermark. It just, to me, that's what it looks like. But we're going to go over that tomorrow. We're going to debunk that stuff. But he has like 2.5K views and she has like, I don't know, 7K. And I'm just like, man, this guy got that actual body cam. He gets body cam from like everywhere. Like, that's what his channel's about. Yeah, that should have been a secret. That's why I was like, MM, like, just, like, doing the initials, and then I was like, "You know what? It's all over, like, Twitter, like, they're just, going after her." And so I'm, like, defending this lady. I'm like, "She was not charged with that. Like, here is the original video." I was trying, but it's like, it's hard to do that out there. Ooh, what happened, Machichi? We wanna know. You can't come in here and said, "I had a really sketchy day yesterday." It was a scary situation in a cemetery. Well, everybody there is supposed to be dead. That's what my mom and dad would say. So, that's exactly what my dad would say. So, who was there? "Hey, from Illinois. Hey, Dion." And, oh, I meant to say that, Jog. That's on my first thing to say, actually, and I never look at my notes up there, but I would have eventually. Happy Father's Day to you guys. I did put out a community post, and I don't know if Tripp's in here, but he said, "Thank you," and I didn't even know he was a dad. So if you're a dad, let me know. I mean, I was like, "That's pretty cool." Like, I didn't know that about him, I'm learning, so. And, I looking at her body, okay, I'm gonna say this. Looking at the way that she's acting in the video, she does say that she's been through a lot of trauma. Her husband was shot 9 times in front of her, and then this stuff happened, I guess. She could be like me, I hold in trauma. Like, I hold in my trauma. Like, even though my car accident was 11 years ago, I still hold, like, stuff in. And, if I were in her situation, I'd probably be kind of almost not acting the same because, I mean, you guys can see me right now and see how I act. But I would, like, want Vincent on the phone. I would be like, let him be on the phone. I wouldn't wanna give the phone up almost. Like, in the body cam, I was like, "Just put the phone down," in my head. But then the other side of me was like, "No, you'd be doing the same thing, girl." You'd be like, "Come save me." So he willows. So, yeah, so, I don't know. So I'm not I don't know, I don't wanna judge her, but I think she's been through a lot, and she may have done, like, drugs for a long time, and that could be, like, a side effect of it, of years of that of use. So she might not have been, like, on that day. I mean, I don't know. I can't say yes or no. Like, only she knows. But what I can say is that, they thought she was under the influence of something because they did the field sobriety test. Now, I think she did good on them. I was like, "Shoot, I thought she did alright. Better than I would've." What day was the incident? It was on September the 4th. Yeah, and I'm like, 'cause I get, today, like, okay, we're gonna start the live. I'm gonna get this stuff put up. But, today, like, at Target, when I was in line, I was in the self-checkout. I like the self-checkout. I like to check myself out because I do things a certain way. I'm OCD, but it's not just a little bit, not just here and there. It's all the time, everywhere. And it's because mostly, I think, because my eyes, so it makes it even, like, exasperated or whatever. But I had, 3 $2 off coupons because I got these when I was at the pharmacy. So I was like, "You have to use 1 per transaction." So I was like, "I could do 3 quick transactions by self-checkout. I'm fast. I could do this." I used to work at Kroger. So anyway, um, the guy goes behind the register that's, like, right there by the self-checkout, and he's like, "I could take you right here." And I'm like, "What is the point of self-checkout, me standing in this line, if I didn't even self-checkout?" So then I just used one of the coupons because, like, I think I was confusing him. So I was like, "Just use 1." And then I think Vincent was trying to help me, and then he was like, "Why are you shaking?" I'm like, "Because," I was like, "This whole thing is just, like, anxiety to me." Like, I just like to do things on my own. That's all. So, okay, I didn't see the mantra G. What'd you say? I scrolled out for a minute. Okay, okay, I'm almost there. Out of a dangerous situation? Oh my goodness. I hope you're okay. Hope they didn't, like, You had a man sizing you up. He drove by me for no reason. It was rainy and it seemed odd. He was parked up on a hill watching me. Oh, wow. Well, maybe you were looking at him and he was looking at you at the same time and you didn't like really realize it. And then you were both thinking the same thing about each other. Like maybe he was up there. I'm just trying to make you like, feel better. Like maybe, me, people know when I'm staring at them because I can't help it. If I want to look at somebody, that's why I look, but I'm like, and I end up running into people because I don't want people to be like thinking that I'm staring at them, but I have to stare a little because of my eye. Actually, I didn't want to share this one yet. That's okay. We'll take this down. Okay. So basically what we're going to do tonight is if you guys don't mind, hit the like button. You start off the live with that. We're YouTubers. That's what we do. But if you guys don't mind, just hit the like button. It really does help. Get us into the algorithm. And so basically I want to go live tomorrow if you guys are cool with it and debunk some things. I even have a email that was written to a creator by a lady that said she knew everything about the Idaho 4 and like what happened that night. And most of us, were like, no, this is bull crap. And so I was reading through that tonight and I was just like, this is so bad. Like so bad. Like it was just a lot of lies. So we'll go over that all tomorrow. But tonight I want to go over Bryan Kohberger's essay that he wrote for school. It was titled Crime Scene Scenario Final, and it was dated on 5/5. Isn't that Mardi Gras? Or not Mardi Gras, that was, or Cinco de Mayo, yeah. 5/5/2020. He did this paper for one of his classes for DeSales University. And I want to go back through it. We've read it once, but we kind of just read through it quick and we didn't really I don't know, really didn't like pay attention, I feel like, to it. I didn't anyway. Like I just kind of we just read it and I don't know. I just didn't feel like I absorbed it. So I thought we'd go back over it and see what we can tell from his paper if he used anything, in the commission of this crime, allegedly, because he is allegedly the unaliver, murderer, so allegedly. So welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you. Hey, Newfie. Look at your little avatar. That's adorable. Oh, gosh. Yeah. He a whole mess. He's a whole damn mess. I made a joke about him one time and he came in my chat like raging. And it was so funny to me. And I was like, you want to come on panel? I was like, you act like you want to talk. And he was like not having it. He was mad at me. He was like, I don't want to talk. So yeah, if you guys haven't been in the last year, it was, I mean, this channel is still a little nutso sometimes, but it was just, we was wilding out. Okay. So tonight I want to go back over, like I said, Bryan's paper from college. But before we go over that, I want to show you another this person is alleged killer also, serial, Rex Heuermann. He is on trial for the murder of Maureen Bernard Barnes, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, Jessica Taylor, Sandra Costello, and Valerie Mack. As of right now, I don't think that he's been charged with Peaches or her toddler's deaths or the Asian Jane or John Doe. That's who they used to be. So he had a plan list or like a to-do list that he would, use for each murder that he was going on to do, basically. And they came out in some of the documents a while back, and I wanted to pull them up and kind of go over those with you before we go over Bryan's paper. I think it's kind of says a lot about a person, shoot. If you've got yourself let me share this and pull it up. A to-do list, I guess the crimes are a little easier to commit. I don't know. But I wonder if Bryan had one of these. Like if it wasn't his crime scenario essay, if he had like a list of things. I'm a list person. I would have a list if I was a crazy, if I was an unaliver, a killer of sorts. You would definitely find it. So this is Rex Heuermann's. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that before I start. But he has this all marked, problems, supplies. I don't know what DS is. I forget. And then TRG. And I think that's target. I think this is disposal. Supplies and problems. Okay. So the problems, he has DNA, tire marks, blood stains, fingerprints, plastic bag cat litter. That's probably to help with the problems. Trace source of supplies, foot shoe prints, photos, misleaders. Oh, and I forgot about this. He has like typos all up in this place, all up in here too. So yeah, it's gonna be bad. I forgot. Police stop, truck stuck. Like you might get a kit for that, right? Make sure your car don't get stuck somewhere. You might get a shovel for that. In case your car got stuck somewhere and there was snow. You could use that. Fingerprints and it says, and then in gloves. So plastic bags matched to box, hair and fiber. I guess Bryan didn't care about the plastic or the fingerprints in the gloves because I don't think he really cared about that. But supplies, booties, lye or acid, police scanner, son of a bitch, rope cord, saw, cutting tools, hair nets, photo film, burn can, foam drain cleaner, body wash wipes, tarps, drop cloths, medical gloves, bags and tapes, large electric clips, ratchet cargo straps. And I want to remind you guys here of who we're talking about. Rex Heuermann's wife, Asa Ellerup, just did a Peacock series, $1 million she got paid for this crap. And just sit in the basement and, talk about how much she thinks that she fell in love with Rex Heuermann all over again when she saw him in jail. He had this list in his house. Lock her up. Lock her up. What? Her hair was all over the victims. What, lady? No. No. I think that's his disposal. So Mill Road, dumpster site next to Recon. Dumpster locations. And then Target T1 Megan. Small is good. Ooh. T-Unk. Oh. That's, I think, like, isn't that the Asian slang? Or no, that was something else. That's not it. Black. I don't know what that means. Okay. Maybe like, I have no idea. I'm going to go to the next one, the next page. Okay, yeah, it was TGR does refer to victims or targets. Let me open this. Recon reports, video cameras on lie route 112 to route 110. Okay, then like just has like the takedown / pickup. Hunt too long, seen an area too long. Remember, don't charge gas. Like pay cash for gas. Recon for video cameras and pickup area next time. Don't want to get caught on video cameras. I mean, he was getting, lady workers, ladies of the night. So there's not too many more, but he literally had this just little manifesto of sorts. Things to remember: sound travels. Control the amount of air in and out to control the noise made. Honey, do you see yourself, Rex Heuermann? You are 6'6" and an ogre. You are a huge man. What do you mean, control your breathing? You better just hook up a damn oxygen machine if you want to do that. I mean, I don't see like the places that these victims were like, man, it's just like crazy that he could even have that strength to do that. But I guess, I mean, he was a lot younger though, too. Some of these where he was a lot younger. It says, get sleep before hunt. Too tired. Look at this. Creates problems. That's supposed to be creates. Hit harder. Too many hit to take down. Consider a hit to the face or neck next time for takedown. This was in his own personal stash. He's an architect by day. So what does his wife think that this is? What is he saying? They're framing me? I mean, that's not... No. So more sleep and noise control equals more playtime. This is sick. Use push pins to hang drop clothes from ceiling, not tape. Look at this heavy. Oh my. I guess you don't have to spell to be an architect. I mean, really, you just have to draw. Use heavy rope for neck. Light rope broke under stress of being tightened. Oh my gosh. This guy, if we should count the spelling errors, you should get extra years for that. That might have been all of it. Oh, this is one. He had a notes. Of course he had a notes. Of course. So this is his notes for his planning document. These are his documents. This was on Heuermann's laptop computer. So, man, can you imagine being with someone? I think they were together 27 years, right? You're together 27 years. There's no way. I don't believe she didn't know. I'm just going to say that. That woman is like too angry with the world and not her husband to not know something. You know what I mean? Like she's cool with him, but mad at all of us. You know, just crazy to me. But it says here, note, spur of the moment, cover, Stockholm syndrome. The more you do, the more clues you give. Look at the painting. What, why, who? Organized versus disorganized. Page 162, sex substitution. Page 163, page 175, mutilation equals disorganized. His first couple of victims were dismembered. Like me, that would be like right that like that's what that would be, right? Like mutilation. And then he's not as disorganized anymore because the other bodies were just in burlap sacks. He was good at hiding them. Yeah, we're talking about Lisk. Tom, that's who these things I've been going over. These are all his. Yeah. As soon as I was like reading Bryan stuff, I was like, man, this reminds me of Rex Heuermann's planning documents. Oh wait, prep. Oh, we got prep over here. Okay. Oh, we got this. It gets even better. Actually, I should have opened this in a new tab, but that's okay. We can still go over, right? Yep. Look at this. Okay. So we went through the problems, went through the supplies, but we got the pre-prep. Okay. That sounds like, you're going to go have beers or something. Vehicle inspection, engage T1, recon DS2. I don't know the DS and the DS1 means, so locate DS2, weather report, recon video cameras, recon pick zone for video cameras. Now to prep, he wants to set up stage. What, in your own house with your wife there? Holding area, build table, crossbar, hard point. I don't know what those mean. If you guys do, maybe I hope I'm not saying anything too bad. Post event, destroy file. Well, you didn't. Change tires. You didn't. Burn gloves. You probably did that. I don't know. Dispose of pics. We'll see at trial. Have story set. Oh, you don't have that. And then that's the notes down there. body prep. Oh my God. If you guys know what Rex Heuermann looks like, you know. But if you don't look it up because we're going to body prep. We're going to be, you're not going to want to know. Wash body inside all cavities. This didn't help him. After they found the bodies, that's when they ran the DNA, and that's when they IgG'd it back to him and his pizza crust. Remove trace evidence, fingerprints and hair. Okay. Okay. He's talking about the other body. He's talking about the bodies that he's like done with. Okay. I'm like, oh my God. I thought it was his body for a minute. Sorry about that, guys. This is the bodies after they're done. Like he's done unaliving them. Sorry about that. I was like, oh my God. After I got down there a little bit, I was like, wait a minute. So it says remove trace DNA. So remove ID marks, tattoos, marks. He didn't do that. That's how Peaches got her name. Her tattoo was on her body. Remove marks from torture. That's just crazy to me because if you find someone dismembered or whatever, you know, right? They're going to be tortured. That's going to be torture, even if it's after, in my opinion. But I guess not. I guess in other people's opinion, maybe they don't think as much. Remove head and hands. Package for transport. Dispose of the following: tools and devices, T1 clothes and personal items, drop cloths, wipes and towels, props, toys, wood items, anything that touched T1, I guess target one, what you wore, destroy book and computer files. Well, you didn't do that. Burn gloves, dispose of box of plastic bags, or I think this is to avoid trace. A box of plastic bags. I think that's what it says. He needed like Google or something to check his spelling. Things to remember, sound travels. Okay, I read that part. We read this one part. Take down, pick up, hunt too long, been seen in the area where that, yeah, don't hit, or remember, don't charge the gas, and then recon for video cameras. Like, but that was his planning list. So how many pages is that one? Like 2, maybe 3. That would be 4, 5, 6, maybe like 6 pages. So this was on his computer that this is to me is just, I mean, are you kidding? Like, were that dumb to keep this on your computer? Was it on your work computer? Maybe. And his daughter worked with him too. But his daughter says, I guess his daughter believes that she tends to believe that he's guilty. So I don't know how her and her mother's relationship is. It seems to be going okay. Maybe they're halving the money or something. Right, baby girl? Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Because the stuff I Google, you know, I mean, if someone got my computer, they'd be like, girl, you are arrested for your Google searches. I mean, like, you know, I Google search a lot of stuff. That's like weird. That's like not weird to me, but it'd probably be questionable to some officers. I don't think there is a trial date. I'm gonna go look real quick since we're talking about it. We were covering it pretty extensively. And then they actually came out with the Peacock came out. She's sitting in that basement. Man, it's spooky. And his lawyer his lawyer gets so mad and his whole face gets red. It's pretty funny to me too. Okay. It says, when does the Gilgo trial? Court date has not been, the court has not yet set an official trial date because lawyers on both sides are still arguing over key details. It's probably going to be a little while. But on March 12th, he was returned to court on Wednesday. The judge set a March 28th date for what's called, let's see here, for what's called a Fry hearing to determine whether DNA evidence will be admissible during trial. Well, I wonder if they got it. think they got it back. Everything's okay. So lawyers on both sides are just like, yeah, they need more time. I think it's because more victims are being named and identified. And so they like Peaches, her daughter, they were identified. No, they weren't identified. They just got identified. I'm sorry. And then the Asian male, he just got identified. So I think with them having like all these new people kind of like being identified, they are they need more time. Plus, can you imagine that you saw the house, right? I mean, you saw the house. Like they had a bunch of stuff. They were hoarders. They hoarded everything. They never gave, they never had a yard sale. You know, why not have, if you're gonna have a house, have a yard sale. Like give back. Had I infrared the other day and it told me they cannot tell me because I would be doing illegal activities. Well, one of my lives one night, we were talking about the S word, you know, like the unaliving yourself. And after the live, it prompted me and it gave me the suicide hotline number and like all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, so it is true. Like, I'm going to say they do know what you're talking about on here. Like they may not clip you for every little thing, right? You could probably say like cuss words. That's probably not like the thing. Like people probably like can say like whatever that way. But when it comes to like saying, especially the, you know, S word, yeah, it'll definitely do something to you. I think it almost like kicked us off or something that night. I forget. But we're going to cover Kohberger's college paper. So this is actually just a transcript of it. There was the court document, and it is located on here, but this is just easier to read. And so we'll read it this way. Now, if we hear something that we think, you know, that could be Kohberger. I should have, you know what I should have done? I should have put this like on a Google document, and then we could have like put check marks by them. That would take like 3 seconds if you just give me oh please. How's everybody's weekend? Did you guys have a great weekend? I hope you guys did. I did. I have my dog snoring behind me too. I think it's just the one dog, and it's the big one. The big gray one. Okay, this ain't gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna have to like, I'm trying to just get his name, but that's okay. I'm gonna have to come back over here probably. Will this let me copy and paste it and not make it weird? What the hell? It just gave me like everything. What is this? I like, hold on, that's so weird. I don't know if I don't think it gave me all of it, but yeah, like it gave me like the rest of the whole document, like above it. That's weird. I don't know. Okay. Did anybody go swimming or anything this weekend? Did you guys have nice weather? And welcome in. You've had a great weekend? Good, baby girl. Good to hear. Okay. This is so weird. I've never seen a document do this. Like it like enters in more, I don't know, it's giving me like tabs on the side and everything. I'll have to show you guys. Oh wait, I went up to, oh no, I didn't. Can't just be really writing this much. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I got it all. That's weird. That is so weird. I'll have to show you. Where did it go? Oh, okay. It's just, I think it's like loading all this. So it's taking a second. Do you see like the side here? Like where it has like all these different tabs? Like document tabs? Being kind of slow getting me back up there because it's like downloading the whole page. Like, okay. So what we'll do is we'll go through this, and then if we see something that we think like, relates to this case, which I think a lot of this stuff probably will, maybe I could put like a check mark beside it. I'll have to figure that out. How to do that. Okay, so we're almost to the top. It's just taking a minute to get up there because it's loading all these different pages, which I guess is good to have. Have you guys seen this before? Let me know if you guys have seen this. We went over it one time. We went through it kind of quick. I'm going to put this in like viewing mode so I don't see all the stuff that it wants me to edit. But this was done 5/5/2020. And I guess if it's in viewing mode, I should put it in edit. No, don't do that. Then I guess we'll just go back to edit it. Hopefully it doesn't all turn blue. Let me see here. How do we do? I don't know. Insert image. Can I just hit check mark? Oh, what did I just do? I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. Okay. We'll just put something beside it. Are you kidding me? Went all the way back down. Okay. Okay, so this is the crime scene scenario. This was one of his finals that he did when he was at DeSales. Like I said, it was back. He turned this in May 5th, 2020. So he was doing his online classes he was doing his classes for DeSales at home online. But it says arriving at the crime scene. And a lot of these would probably be what he would do. I guess what we'll do is we'll put what should we use? I'll just I don't want to star it because then it'll probably think it's a nope. Okay, we can star it. Okay, so if you guys think one of these, let me know. Also, I'm going to have you guys where I can see you, so I can see you now. Okay, great. So the first thing it says arriving at the crime scene. So the first thing to be done is block off the crime scene in order to avoid crime scene contamination. Do you think that was the first thing that they did? Actually, we're going to say we'll put that for the arriving at the crime scene. We'll say did the officers actually do these things? Because it wouldn't be him. But keeping people out of the scene minimizes evidence contamination though many may be curious to see what occurred. And I'm just going to put I'll start beside that one because I did. The theory of transfer states that we bring something with us to the crime scene and take something away, thus skewing the crime scene from the original state by contamination. This is because the original state of the crime scene was left by the criminal suspect. A lack of contamination allows the scene to be a snapshot in time. I'm reading through some of these because I'm just going to put a star beside the ones that we think that the officers did. And then the other ones we'll base that on Bryan Kohberger. So the curious must be noted and immediately evicted from the scene. I'm pretty sure they probably did that, but I don't know that for sure. So do you guys know that for sure? There probably was somebody out there looking. Hey, Wolfie, just I would say there's probably as many eyes on them. They put as many eyes back on those people, So people to be kept out of the scene include unauthorized civilians and any more than the absolute minimum number of law enforcement agents and forensic crime processors. Waiting for backup to arrive, I should stand guard at the scene, preventing these unauthorized people and even holding back eager officers from entering the scene. I don't know if they did any of that because we didn't see that in the beginning. I do have a video though. I must call my immediate supervisor and inform them of the deceased white female who is approximately 35 years of age. I must obtain an initial search warrant to search the scene. Failing to do so will mean that evidence is inadmissible. I was just rereading that. There is so I guess we can probably, they did do that. There is another reason why holding personnel from entering is key. The coroner must be called in order to pronounce the woman dead, and EMS should be called if they were not already called by the patrol officer 15 minutes earlier, as they would have provided emergency care if the woman showed signs of life. We could probably put a star beside that. And then if any of these do refer to Bryan Kohberger, maybe we'll put his initials. This would have been important for many reasons. Her livelihood is one reason, but from the stance of patrol officer or criminal investigator, she may have given a dying declaration of her attacker when informed of her impending death. Bryan, you have I guess he was good at this for a reason, you know? So he has an active imagination. I don't know if I would have thought of that when I was going to school for criminal justice, that part, like the dying declaration part. Forensic services are next on the list to call, as they are best equipped to handle the evidence, process it, and ensure that there is not any contamination. I'll put it right there. Let me go over to see what you guys are saying. Yeah, we're back to, this is BK stuff now, sorry. Yep, Betsy, you're absolutely right, yeah. Didn't even have to go in, he just saw it, he saw it from the doorway. Well, I'm still looking for that video of the officers taking the victim's personal belongings out when they take out that white side table. I cannot find it anywhere. They didn't scrub it from the internet, because I know I got it somewhere if I need to find it. But I haven't found it, like, when I do, like, just a search and I've looked through them, because I have questions on that. But the city's trash. Oh, sorry, EB. I thought you were the first part of that was, like, really nice. I was like, oh, I've never been to Washington. I think it would be pretty up there. Okay. I don't know. Their van also contains the best equipment for forensic investigation. So forensic services are next on it says the list to call, and they have the best van. So, okay. A cursory search of the immediate area should be done. I should have made this bigger for you guys. Should be done, and any observations should be recorded in my field notes as to ensure the integrity of the preliminary case. And then he puts preliminary report. Officers who are not needed at the residence should ensure that the general area is searched for anything that stands out as well. This includes the area of the trailer park, which contains 62 trailers. So apparently this victim that he's talking about, like, this pretend person or whatever, lived in a trailer park, and she was 35 years old. That's what we know about her so far. This made up person that he's making up. Okay. Couldn't put her, like, in a nice house or something. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see what that kind of says. Is there, if there is anyone in the trailer, they should be moved out and questioned. Does she have kids? I should gather the following information in my notes as the investigation commences, which will later be included in my preliminary case report when the details of the case accumulate. Man, this is insanity. Just like, he knows, he knows right from wrong. Like, he knows what he's doing. And, like, this whole, like, I don't know, just reading this and then, like, thinking about him having like, Anne saying like, well, he's so autistic and he can't do anything on his own. I beg to differ. So it says the offense, the time of day, date and approximate time of offense if known, identification of the victim, the location of the offense, the method of operation if known, and the identification of the officer. Since the offender was not there, I would be unable to record this information initially, and the specifics of the crime won't be known until confirmed by the crime lab. We'll probably put a star there because I think that they were thinking the same thing. Getting the approximate time is important and can be indicated by rigor mortis, which sets at about 12 hours, or putrefaction, which is about 10 to 20 days. All this information will aid me as I attempt to reconstruct the scene of the crime based on the evidence, location in relation to its former known position. And then I'm not sure what, they had on hand, but we're going to read through this. The equipment I will have on hand for the investigation. Okay. To be prepared for crime scene investigation, I will ensure I have a crime toolkit containing the following. And I remember when I was in college, they sent you a crime toolkit. It was the coolest thing. It really was. Like, it was the coolest thing about college for me. Like, to get that kit. Me and my dad played with that forever. It was really cool. We never really used it for school, like, either. Like, I don't know. They gave us like all this stuff and we did, but we didn't. I don't know. And it's probably because I was online. I went online too, but way earlier than him. So he'll need a 35 millimeter camera or digital camera capable of videotaping with an adequate supply of film and power, a portable lighting system to ensure quality photographs and that I do not miss or step over any evidence, assorted steel tape measures that can reach at least 25 feet, a ruler or other measurement marking devices, latent fingerprinting equipment, gloves to protect the scene from contamination. This will enable that I avoid leaving my latent fingerprints. I'm going to put his name beside that. Wait, I'm going to put my name. Wow. Okay. I was about to put my initials. What the heck? Forceps and small tweezers and a pair of scissors. A small saw, to take evidence, for example, drywall, filter paper or small swabs for liquid evidence or trace evidence. Sorry, I was reading the chat. You guys got me over here on the chat, but I'm like feeling all sad for y'all. It'll be 2 years for my dad. So if I'm a little out of pocket, that's why, probably a little bit. Let me see. $17 years. That's a long time. Okay. So then he needs filter paper or small swabs. I think this is one for liquid evidence, for trace evidence, various evidence containers for liquid and solid evidence, paper envelopes for physical evidence, evidence tape to seal off evidence containers, casting material to take molds of possible footprints around the perimeter, with a rubber container for the mixture. A magnifying device should be kept. Crime scene tape for the scene. Protective clothing, boot covers, eyewear. Okay, I'm going to read this one again. Okay, protective clothing. He puts down boot covers, eyewear, fiber-free overalls, face masks, hair nets, gowns, and anything that will prevent me from contaminating the scene with things I bring in with me. So he knows when he's walking into like a crime scene, that, or, anywhere, that he's bringing in like a little bit of himself in there. I mean, he's noted that twice, so I think that's kind of noteworthy. Now, I wonder if I put in let me type in. I wonder if Dick's would sell that. You know what I mean? Like fiber free. Or if that would be something he would even care about. I mean, it comes up, it doesn't yeah, it doesn't really come up like the brand. Okay. Now, I mean, he could have worn, in my opinion, he could have worn what if he wore the Dickies suit, like the overalls, right? Or coveralls, because they'd be coveralls, not overalls, sorry. Coveralls. And he wore one of those hazmat type of, suits over top of that. I mean, you could do that. And then when he got to Xana's room, he sat down to take off the boot covers. And then he was sat down because he had to take the boot covers off. Maybe. And that maybe it wasn't just that he was exhausted. He had to sit down to take them off. And then he took off the outerwear. I don't know. He could have had it on, but I was just assuming that he could take that off. Oh, Kathy, I'm sorry to hear about your brother. I have an older brother, and he means a lot to me. I don't tell him enough. Actually, I think I tell him way more than he tells me, but I know that he does. I mean, it's different. He's a guy. He's not good at saying it. So I don't know. Maybe I think that he would probably wear that kind of stuff. And personally, it's his face mask on there too. I mean, he was wearing a balaclava, but hairnets, gowns. They don't make little hairnets for your eyebrows. They do for your beard and your mustache, but not for your eyebrows, I don't think. If anyone finds any, that'd be funny. Me too, other than my brother is like my half brother. Ladybug, I can relate. I can relate to that. Oops. Whoa. I just went on a different page. Okay. So he says a blue light with yellow glasses, which makes small trace evidence more visible, can be used to ensure that a photo is taken of all evidence. There could be a very small amount of blood somewhere which wouldn't have been sampled, documented, or photographed otherwise. Entering the home for the crime scene documentation and initial photography, videography. So it says, I may enter upon judicial approval of the search warrant and should do so with the minimal number of personnel. Yeah, you're supposed to do that in real life too. Having too many personnel evident in the photography may put the integrity of the evidence into question and taint the scene. A contamination list should be made documenting every person who enters and exits the crime scene and why. This includes first responding officers, firefighters, EMTs, family members, criminal investigators, and all crime scene personnel. There should not be any family members up in a crime scene. I guess if they were there beforehand, but still, there shouldn't be. Still, there should not be that many people in the crime scene. Otherwise, contamination will be increased as the theory of exchange inevitably manifest. The more I read about this, do you know who it makes me think of? John Benet Ramsey and everybody that traipsed through her parents' house that day. That's what this reminds me of. He keeps saying, don't let it get contaminated. So it reminds me of that case. I must ensure that myself and sorry about that. That myself and fellow crime scene personnel are wearing gloves and other protective equipment as to avoid contaminating the scene with latent fingerprints. Do you think, I mean, I don't think that he would have wore like a Leighton glove, like a latex glove. That would not be smart. I feel like holding a knife with a latex glove in your, I mean, that would be like slippage city, right? Like, you get blood on your hand. It's really going to slip with a latex glove on. So, I mean, but I keep hitting the space bar. Sorry. But I could see him wearing like work gloves, like, or I guess like gardening kind of like gloves, but they're like thicker, like they're work gloves. So, or even like the gloves that help you so your hands don't get cut. They're like Kevlar, maybe. We were talking about Aries. We were talking about Rex Heuermann at the beginning of the live. You missed it. And hey, Aries. So where are we at? Okay. Still, there should not be that many people. We were at that part. Okay. A fiber-free boot cover would also be ideal to avoid leaking physical leaving, I think that's supposed to say this is leaking physical footprints or residue from the boot. I guess leaking is right, from the boot. So fiber-free boot cover. You could probably get those at Lowe's. I know that there's like a section in Lowe's. Like I was in there. I mean, this was like, I've been there after this, but this was like a couple years ago. And I remember taking a picture because we were covering this case and I saw like this aisle and it was literally like everything you would need if you were wanting to, paint. But in my eyes, I saw everything you would need to wear if you were going to go like do this kind of crime. Like I was like, this is like Bryan Kohberger's like section. It was like gloves, boot covers, and then the little like office that you put over your clothes for like painting and stuff. But you could, totally use that for this, I guess. It says anything that is fiber free and covers the mouth, hair, and overall body would be helpful in avoiding crime scene contamination, since hair, saliva, skin cells, and other bodily fluid or cells may be added to the scene, thus contaminating it, or leaving your DNA behind because, you committed a crime. Fibers can be left via the theory of exchange and would contaminate the crime scene from its initial state as the offender left it. Okay. Even if we can't assume that there was an offender despite seeming obvious, preventing contamination is an important way to ensure the integrity of the investigation and evidence. I wonder if I'm sure she has. I know she has. But I wonder what Ann Taylor thinks of this paper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like Bryan Kohberger's given her a whole lot to work with. I mean, she's spinning in circles here, with autism, need more time, Dateline episode, need more time, I mean, look at the alibi she's working with. I think she'd be feeling a lot better if she had a little bit more that she could work with. Other than, I don't know, I was just driving around. But you know what I told him to say? I told him to say, I don't even know what I was doing. So that's what I would have stuck with. It says here, wow. We should always treat the crime scene as if there is indeed a criminal homicide as to not miss out on important details. This is how the crime scene is being handled. The first thing for me to do is take a coordinated series of crime scene photographs of with a digital photography device or a 35mm camera from a natural point of view. I haven't really been marking beside these because some of these we don't know for sure. I'm sure that this is what they did, but we don't know for sure. I know that they did take pictures. We will put that in there. They took lots. These photos must be taken prior to the movement of any object in the crime scene to ensure that the photo captures the scene as the offender left it. The photograph should be taken from a general view of the exterior of the home, as well as general views of the interior, recording the time and details of the photograph in my notes. Setting up portable lighting ensures that the elements of the crime adequately illuminated for photographic documentation. The house was lit up like a Christmas tree. We just couldn't see inside of it. That was when they pulled everything, all the curtains. The photos should be in color as to provide the best, most accurate image, thus avoiding photographic distortion. Pretty sure they probably did that. The following details regarding photography should be recorded in the field notes and on the back of the photos if possible. Recording these details will ensure that the defense attorney does not attempt to devalue the quality of your evidence, which may take it or make it inadmissible. Wonder if Bill Thompson read this. Data to identify the subject of the photograph, but without too much unnecessary information. Okay. The location of the photograph, including the state, city, and street address. The identifying data of the photographer, including the name, police agency, badge number, and identification number. The case number, if established at the time of the dispatch. The precise time of the photograph. The date of the the photograph was taken. The weather at the time. The photographic equipment used, including shutter speeds, film type, and developing and printing techniques. I mean, he knew like when you were printing off your little pictures to put the weather at the time, but you didn't think about that before you committed these homicides that allegedly. I don't know, that alibi was an afterthought. He didn't think about that, like he didn't think about, I don't think he thought about getting arrested. I really don't. I don't think he did. Hey, Sirius, thanks for last night. Thanks for going and getting Daniel and bringing him over here. That was nice. I didn't see you in the chat earlier, but I thanked you earlier. And if you're just coming in, we are going over. So we're going over Bryan Kohberger. I should tell you guys, like, sometimes I just get going. We're going over Bryan Kohberger's essay that he did when he was at DeSales. He did it in May of 2020, and it goes over he's talking about a crime scene, and he's making this, final paper as if he was in the, like the perspective of the person coming in and like being the crime scene clean, or crime scene tech, or, what he would do in all aspects. So it says here, the next one down, next, photos of specific rooms should be taken with special attention to the living room in which the deceased woman was found. As the coordination of photos is focused inward, specific components of the crime, like physical evidence, should be accounted for and detailed. These should also be logged in my field notes. This physical evidence should be photographed next to a measurement marker, which can be a ruler or any other easily comparable object of well-known size. The body and physical evidence to take a picture prior to collection from the forensic services and criminal investigators includes, so this is the pictures, I guess, and what you should be taking pictures of. The deceased woman in the living room. So this person was found. This is one deceased woman, but it is a woman, nonetheless. But we only had a 50-50 chance of him doing that. So, we'll see what else he has. Like, that's the same. She was found in the living room. This person in his, made up story from 2020. And she lived in a trailer, not a house. That's what we've learned so far, too. So, let's see what else. Specific shots. It says the deceased woman is in the living room who should be photographed under adequate lighting from a long view. Specific shots should be focused on the evidence of harm on her body and clothing. The bruises on her face, the marks on her neck, the bloody shirt, and any other signs of postmortem lividity should be photographed and taped without moving the victim. A measurement marker should be placed next to her. You place that sheath there instead, you big dummy. I mean, really did. And thank you guys all for being here. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. I'm like, what was that? Okay, that was my dog. That's just my dog. I was trying to chat. Okay. I'm just reading the chat. Sorry. Okay. Of course, I lost my spot. The body and physical evidence to take a picture prior to collection from the forensic services and criminal investigator of includes, and we read this part. So, the deceased woman in the living room, the bruises on her face. We read that. The marks on her neck. This will show if an offender moved the woman as to manipulate the crime scene. Does she have defensive wounds? Are there hesitation marks on her related to the knife, or are there multiple stab wounds? Well, we're going to put his initials beside this. Wait, what? KB. Put his name backwards, didn't I? These must be photographed and taped. Is the mark on her neck related to the hanger near her? The photographs make it sure that these items were indeed present at the crime scene. So he's bringing a hanger into it. Most of these questions are speculated until absolutely confirmed by the forensic medical examiner, who can use scientific equations to determine the approximate time of death. This is a maxim that stands even when the scene seems to point to the obvious. The time of death is never entirely accurate, but the photographs can aid in this process, as they capture phenomenon such as rigor mortis or putrefaction when the woman was found. I thought they can get an accurate time of death if they the temperature of the liver. Wow, this whole time in my whole life. They even taught us that in school. It says, I'm learning something from Bryan Kohberger. Let me see. It says here, while the liver temperature can be a factor in estimating time of death, it's not the sole or most accurate method. But there should be another way to pinpoint it. But it says the rate of cooling. And I was wondering this, whether it was the slider, because I'm still going to listen to that press conference so I can hear the Chief Fry say that it was the slider, or the front door was left open. Either one. I wonder if Bryan could have done that on purpose to try to, what if he didn't see Dylan, right? And they didn't know Bethany was downstairs or whatever. Couldn't he have left the door open thinking that could have kept the bodies cooler with the temperature being so low that night? I mean, they would have to check to see maybe if he turned off like the heating, but they did go into the HVAC system. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Carl, that you're probably absolutely right. I thought it was always they could like test the liver. I think it gives you approximate, but not like an exact time. Wow. Well, look at that. The more you know. Thanks, Kobe. The knife should be photographed under adequate light, and a marker should be placed next to the knife to give the best photographic representation of the evidence. The misshapen coat hanger should be photographed under adequate light, and a measurement marker should be placed next to the evidence. The upended furniture and children's furniture should be photographed firstly from a long view and then focus specifically on each piece of furniture under adequate lighting with a measurement marker. All of this should be well documented in the field notes and on the photograph. I don't think they do that really. I mean, like when you have 4,000 photographs, right, that they take. I think they just put their name on that drive that they have it on. They may print them all out. I don't think they do, though. Is there any sign of forced entry to the home? This would be evident by broken glass from windows and pry marks on the doors or windows surrounding the house. Not necessarily. That back door, you can just pop that door open. They're not that hard to break into. It's bad to say, but they're not. Thank you, Sirius. That's really nice of you. Oh, that's cute. Thank you. I looked at the little emoji. I'm wondering BK and Rex are pen pals. Hey, Rex Heuermann's writing, what's his name? Smiley face killer. I'm pretty sure wasn't it Smiley face? No, maybe not. Maybe I'm lying about that. I mean, I know he is in talks with another killer, like serial killer. I think it's Smiley face. And they were talking about butter. You get butter for your rolls? Oh, yeah, we get butter over here. Oh, we don't get butter. Better just get rid of the butter because you're not going to have it for the rest of your life. It's sad. They talk about butter. So, I mean, is there any signs of forced entry to the home? Well, it says this would be evident by broken glass from windows and pry marks on the doors or windows surrounding the house. So apparently back in 2020, he didn't know that you could just pop open a backslider. This should be photographed, videotaped, and documented. If there is not forced entry, it may be suggested that the woman knew her killer. Is that why the door was left open? Suggesting that there wasn't forced entry? You know what I mean? Like you walked in, you walked out. A video camera will be used as well to go over all the evidence which was photographed. Documentation of the video evidence should also be filled out and recorded in the field notes. So then the crime scene sketch. The crime scene sketch occurs after the scene was initially searched, photographed, and videotaped. The sketch is of great value in criminal court. When they bring in that house, like the life-size house or whatever, I wonder what Bryan's face is going to look like. I wonder if we'll be privy to that. You know what I mean? Like, or if we'll be more if they'll have us focused on the witness and off of Kohberger, Good. And welcome in, everybody. It's coming in. I mean, I think he's going to be looking like, oh, well, that looks familiar. I mean, if I would sit it right next to him if I could, but I can't. I mean, just to see how he acts. It says the sketch should first be done in pencil to ensure that the sketch accurately portrays evidence and measurements pertaining to the crime scene. The final versions will be done in non-perishable ink via pen. The physical evidence of the crime, which includes but is not limited to the knife, misshapen coat hanger, furniture, as well as any other biological evidence like bodily material or fluid, are to be drawn out and accurately measured proportions from each other and permanent objects in the crime scene sketch. He doesn't put, he doesn't put cells on there. The final search and confirmation by the forensic processing unit and investigator will determine whether this was all the physical evidence at the scene. New evidence can be added to the crime scene sketch when new measurements are taken. The distance from permanent fixtures should be accurately recorded and depicted. Crime scene sketch should be measured by the criminal investigator and accurately display the proportions of the physical evidence. Any inaccurate portrayal of the location of evidence can influence the juror perception of the guilt or innocence of the suspect. It's kind of funny that he says that, 'cause this isn't built to scale. I wonder what this house looks like. I cannot wait. Just give us a little sneak peek, Bill. Come on. It's just us, it's just us. Because like when Ann Taylor calls it a dollhouse, like I think of this thing looking pretty big. Like one of those old wooden dollhouses that your grandpappy used to make you. I didn't have one like that. I had a Barbie house. My parents bought that crap. My dad was like, can't build you one. I don't know why I didn't build me one. He was great with his hands. Okay. We had like kind of storms here today too. That was kind of weird. You're welcome, Glenn. No problem. Barbie townhouse with elevator. Me too. And side story. I'll always laugh at this story. I remember riding with it on the way to Philadelphia. Back home, we were visiting my grandmother, and my dad and mom got me a Barbie dream house. It's what I wanted. It was all wrapped. They were like, "Yeah, that's your big present from us," because they were not letting Santa take credit for that. Like they were like, "We're getting the credit for that." My dad put it together for me because I couldn't wait to go till we got home, and then he couldn't fit it in the car, like in the back seat when we were leaving. So we had to take it back apart. It was hilarious because you know how long it took to put things together back then, like the whole day. 3 days later, thought it was pretty funny. But I do want to see that house. I mean, I think it's going to be, I mean, even if it's not to scale, I think it's going to give us exactly what we need. I mean, we're not going to be yelling inside of it, like to see how the noise, bounces off the walls. But I do hope, and I think that they have it. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to say I'm like 100% sure that they recorded acoustics in that house and that we will hear them at some point, during the trial. So, don't worry your little hearts out. I think we're going to get a accurate depiction of the house and the layout and the area. The crime scene sketch should be measured by a criminal investigator and accurately display the proportions. I read that part. Sorry. While you do not need to be an artist, the responsibility of sketching should be taken with accuracy and a goal for a clear portrayal in mind. Don't let me do it. Though I can assign another officer to sketch it, I have decided to take this task on. Because, he's the go-getter in his story. A 25-foot steel measuring tape should be used to record these exact and accurately recorded measurements of the physical evidence and permanent objects in the house. 25 feet, okay. Too much detail shouldn't be included in the sketch as to avoid confusion. Movable items unrelated to this crime scene convey details irrelevant to the crime and will be avoided. Extraneous detail, including movable furniture, may cause issues if jurors recognize that items in the house were moved after the fact. This would be equivalent to the crime scene contamination and may render evidence inadmissible. The living room should be sketched out with the deceased woman being drawn in proportion to the knife, coat hanger, upended furniture, and children's furniture, walls, and permanent objects in the house. Other rooms that are relevant should be included in the sketch. I have decided to use the rectangular coordination method with 2 right angles being outlined in proportion to the physical evidence and permanent fixtures centering around the living room. So okay. He's drawing a rectangle, and that's how I guess his living room is laid out. A projection can be used to document biological/trace evidence like bloodstains or other physical evidence that imprinted on the walls. Bullet holes would be something that should be ruled out, and if bullet holes are present, they should be documented on the 3D exploded sketch before the drywall is removed via saw. And I showed you pictures the other day, and there's more, but of the crime scene when after they were done. They went. Remember that the FBI, they went back and they did more testing. Well, they cut out parts of the bedrooms and stuff, and they took all that. So yeah. Okay. Though it appears obvious that the knife was used in this crime, we do not know this for sure and should make sure to document everything and look for less apparent evidence. Even if there was an item introduced to the scene by an offender to throw off investigators, it is not the job of the criminal investigator processing the crime scene to jump to conclusions. The crime lab will be able to decipher with scientific certainty what is and is not an original element of the crime. Staging is common. For example, the offender may have taken items from the house to make it look like a burglary turned robbery, which went wrong. Wonder if that's what happened in this case. And they didn't fall for it. I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't that be something if they said in opening statements, this was made to look like a burglary or something? I don't know. The official crime preliminary report should include the accurate sketch with the following details included. Okay. The name of the investigator and identifying badge number, a detailed location of the scene, such as the city, state, and the street address. The living room should be noted as the center of the sketch. The date and exact time the sketch was first drawn in pencil. The evidence listing/key, which shows evidence as it corresponds to a letter or mark indicated in said key. The case number of the investigation. A compass arrow to give direction. The scale of the sketch should be included, or the words "not drawn to scale." Okay. Wow. I am choosing to draw it to scale where 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. The computer aided design program, CAD, which uses laser lights and takes up to 25,000 measurements per second in 3D, may be utilized if available for the scale of the scene is most accurate. So they want to get that. Yeah, we went through those 3D scanners before too on this channel. I would request it's the CAD, but it stands for computer aided design program. For it gives the best portrayal of this serious crime, allowing for an accurate point of view and zooming of particular elements of the crime scene. The more comprehensive crime scene search using the strip search method. Okay, let's see what he's got. In order to collect evidence from the interior of the residence, I will assign roles to officers on the scene, briefing them to watch where they are stepping, and not act impulsively or without great care. Hasty actions will lead to valuable evidence being trampled and lost. The strip search method is what I have decided on, as it allows for the interior of the crime scene to be searched from one end of the other with more than one officer or forensic processing unit. The exterior of the property should be searched from one end to the other as well, switching to a grid search if necessary. Walking from one end of the scene to the opposite end of the scene, I will then turn around and cover ground to the right or left without stepping on the same spot twice. The rooms of the trailer should be searched in this method with special attention to the living room where the victim lies. Assigning a CSI or officer and myself to this section living room would allow that the scene is thoroughly checked. As I move from one end to the other, I will make sure that I shine my flashlight ahead of myself to ensure that I do not damage or carry away smaller pieces of physical evidence. I mean, like, I don't think he had time to have all this stuff, but like, it almost wouldn't surprise me if he went in there with a black light, right? And he had on like his little yellow glasses and he was just making sure he wasn't leaving anything behind of himself. Like flashing that thing everywhere, wearing it on his hat. And then he turned it off or whatever and took that off before he's done with all. I mean, this is, because he really didn't leave a lot there. Okay, so then smaller items of physical evidence include wood chips, hairs, paint flakes, glass fragments, or small fibers. If not careful, these may be lost before even accounting for or observing them. If new pieces of physical evidence are uncovered, I will take note of it for documentation and/or photography / videography. Things such as footprints inside and outside should be prepared to be photographed and videotaped. I must photograph and videotape the new evidence as well as log it with the following information and account for it in the crime scene sketch. The time and date of evidence discovery, the location that I found the evidence, the name of myself or whichever officer, CSI, or criminal investigator discovered it. As this is a serious crime, I have chosen that specialized crime scene personnel will assist me. A description of the evidence, any identifying marks to further detail the evidence, the name of an officer who witnessed the fine. This will ensure that there is no question that this was indeed an element of the original crime scene. This will save the investigators setbacks in court. Well, good thing they were walking through together anyway. So, I didn't mean to hit the mic. Sorry about that, guys, if that was loud. All the information that is carefully recorded regarding the crime scene evidence aids the crime report. The location of this evidence is very important, for it may give us the following information. Establish the tracing of or identification of the suspect, establishing the suspect's modus operandi, or MO, or identifying similar MOs via information added to the FBI's Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, VICAP, it's called VICAP, from the completed crime report. Confirming alibis or exposing lies, disproving the alibi. Okay, well, look at that. Confirming alibis or exposing the lies. I feel like I need a shirt that says that. Disproving the alibi. Well, they did that. They did that pretty quick, didn't they? Connect suspects to the crime or eliminating suspects. The identification of contraband, stolen property, and other illegal items. Identifying victims if they are not identified. For example, we can assume the woman lives at the residence before confirming it. A dead body may not be initially tied to the residence. Providing investigative leads, for example, checking into the husband or boyfriend and the location of the children based on the crime scene evidence is warranted. The husband did it, yeah. Providing a statutory element of the offense. So burglary basically is when you enter a dwelling and then you commit a felony, like you commit a crime in the process of, breaking into someone's home or dwelling. Now robbery is when robbery is when they go in and they hold you like at gunpoint. That could be like even home invasion, but that's more like a robbery. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, breaking and entering is like when you like break into like a window or whatever, and you like enter the home, and you steal items. You don't really like hurt anybody. You're just taking stuff. But felony burglary, that's the big one. And I'll give you like the actually. Then maybe I can give you the actual thing. Actually, for Idaho, I'm going to give mine. It says, in Idaho, burglary is a felony as defined by Idaho code. It involves entering any building or structure with the intent to commit a theft or any felony. The penalty for burglary in Idaho is imprisonment in the state prison for not less than 1 year and not more than 10 years. It's classified as a felony in the state of Idaho. And well, they charge him with a felony anyway. So I didn't know if it was either way though. I think so connecting suspects up to the crime or eliminating suspects, the identification of contraband, stolen property, and other illegal items, identifying victims. We read this part, sorry, that are not identified. For example, we can't assume, the woman that lives there is her. Providing investigative leads, providing a statutory element of the offense. So the collection of items of evidence, like the crime scene photography, larger items of physical evidence of evidence are taken first. This includes the disheveled furniture and children's furniture, cell phone and computer, if there, the knife and coat hanger. The body will be taken later by a CSI with a coroner for custody to wait for analysis by a forensic medical examiner trained to perform the autopsy. The knife should be examined for latent fingerprints to be logged separately. Same with the coat hanger, doorknobs around the house, upended furniture, cell phone, and virtually any physical evidence big enough to grab. And I think that was what Drunk Turkey was saying last night. Daniel was saying that he believes that Bryan Kohberger left the door open when he came in. He just left it open. So that way he wasn't touching it more than he needed to get out, And he said he mentions it in this. So I guess that's where he mentioned it. Doorknobs around the house. So crimes of passion are rooted in emotionality and impulsivity. If this is the case, we can likely count on there being latent fingerprints on the doorknob and all over the knife and victim. Smaller items of biological or trace evidence, such as hair and fibers from clothing, must be collected using metal forceps or tweezers as to avoid damaging this delicate evidence, which may hold significant value in the criminal investigation. Fingerprints and footprints are class evidence to be taken with molds or a fingerprinting kit. Fingerprints should be entered into APHIS. I should use a swab where applicable to collect fluids or skin cells which contain DNA. Damn. Can't say you didn't know. I should use a swab where applicable to collect fluids or skin cells which contain DNA. That's a shame. The shirt likely contains not only the blood of the woman, but the blood of the possible offender. DNA from biological evidence should be swab placed in a vial, documented in notes, and on the container for the evidence chain of custody and included to be sent to the crime lab. The shirt will later be bagged and tagged separately as physical evidence. I should make sure to swab under the fingernails to see if the DNA of the offender is there. She likely dug into their skin. Well, I know that they've done this. He shouldn't know. No, that's not what that's not what happened. No, they don't do that at the house. They bag your hands. And then they do that when they get to the medical examiner's office. They cut their nails. And they give you the clippings. So he messed up there. I don't know. He just messed up there. Is there evidence of sexual assault or semen present? This evidence should be marked, swabbed, and collected in a glass vial or cellophane bag. Is there evidence of personation? Did the offender take something, or did the offender display an excessive need for control over the victim as demonstrated by a possible SA and murder? There are all observations to be recorded, though not conclusively. During the searching phase, the evidence should be marked with the following information in the field notes and later in the evidence seal/packaging. I am choosing to bag all evidence and not directly mark it, for it will be sent to the forensics lab. The size of the object, the physical nature of the object, is it a solid or liquid? If the evidence is a liquid, it should always be kept in an airtight container, such as a cellophane bag or glass vial, and marked. The value of the object and the number of like objects, the case number pertaining to the evidence, the date and exact time retrieved, the initials of the person who marked the evidence, BK in this case. This process should be done as many times as needed. He called himself BK. It may occur up to 1,000 or more times. That's weird that he called him, like he did call himself that, and BK. Is that weird to anybody else? That like he went by his initials? Like, I mean, a lot of like kind of like BTK. That's just reminded me of like he like was like trying, I don't know, he's like copying him. Like BK. Like he went by his initials, didn't put his first name. Like Bryan will be on this, right? Like, I don't know. The process should be done as many times as needed. It may occur up to 1,000 or more times. It must be counted accurately, and the quantity should be accurately recorded on the container. Packaging the evidence for the forensic lab. Each item I collect, including but not limited to the knife, coat hanger, and bloody clothing on the woman, must be packaged in the proper way for forensic lab analysis. I must use separate containers for evidence, not mixing things up and causing confusion, no matter how daunting this may be. I must use new, clean packaging that was not previously used as to avoid contamination. Obviously, blood or other biological evidence renders a container spent. Avoiding metal containers, which can be reused, is ideal to confirm the container is indeed disposed of afterwards. The package must be sealed with a strong medium, such as a strong tape. Items of clothing need to be kept as is and not folded. I must keep evidence that was found in a container as it is and mark it. I must include a letter of transmittal to state what type of analysis must be done. For example, wound analysis, DNA, or fingerprinting, even ballistics. Again, I must account for and log all this evidence in the chain of custody form. Where it was found, how, when, who is transporting it, where is the evidence locker located. The woman must be removed by a certified professional and sealed, taken into custody by the coroner, and sent to the forensic medical examiner for forensic autopsy. This must all be logged in the field notes and initial crime report before compiled in the closing report. The crime scene will be surveyed if necessary, but the longer the time it takes to do so, the more the chance the crime scene is contaminated. He wasn't messing around when he was giving this, was he? His last paper. His final. I mean, I guess you got to be thorough, right? This is what was getting him into, I don't know, it's 2020, this is way back when, so it wasn't getting him into any doctorate program, but very thorough. The crime scene will be surveyed if necessary, but the longer the time it takes to do so, the more the chances the crime scene is contaminated. When mailed, I must always send this evidence in registered mail enclosed with a secure receipt. This careful collection of evidence is all necessary for the crime lab criminalist to be capable of analyzing all elements of the crime, being that they rarely come on the scene. Evidence, chain of custody, and inventory receipts. The careful description of evidence, when and where the evidence was found, and who found it are all related to the evidence chain of custody. All evidence must be described and then transported and placed in an evidence locker. The identity of the transporter and the location of the evidence locker must be accounted for. If the evidence is taken out of the locker at the police department, it must be recorded who did so and why they did so. They also need to record when they did that. The knife, misshapen wire coat hanger, and any physical, biological, or trace evidence found must be accounted for, bagged and sealed, and then kept in an evidence locker. Her bloody clothing should be examined as well, but this would infer that she must be moved and have items of clothing removed. This is something the forensic crime scene processing unit should do. No, the coroner would do that. In my opinion, the coroner would do that. If she had a cell phone or computer nearby, this should be described, logged, and transported to the digital forensic lab for digital forensic examination. Did she communicate with anyone? Did this communication indicate a conflict? Did her husband or boyfriend contact her? Did anyone else contact her? This may help investigators look in the right direction if things turn out to be not so obvious. Again, we can't assume it was the husband or boyfriend just because there may have been a history of domestic violence. He'd be adding stuff in as he goes. We didn't know about the domestic violence beforehand. Or a PFA. What's a PFA? Personal protection? No, that's not it. What's a PFA? Despite this being very common. Does anyone know what a PFA is? Is it protection from abuse? That could be a lot. The legal context, it says PFA refers to a restraining order, protection from abuse order. I wonder if that's like a thing in Pennsylvania, if they call it like that. So yeah, okay. It is, Dana, yeah. You think, I mean, man, it's just all together. I mean, like all around, it's just, this case is just it's sad all the way around. He keeps bringing up this husband or boyfriend too. Like at first he asked, is there a husband or boyfriend and is there kids? And now he's like making up there is kids and there's like a husband there because they said kids furniture. So that's kind of weird to leave that. It says, this may help investigators look in the right direction if things turn out not to be so obvious. Again, we can't assume if the husband or boyfriend just because there may have been a history of domestic violence or PFA, despite this being very common. Also, she may have children's furniture for her nieces or nephews, so we can't even assume she had kids. That's true. That's very true. Actually, I'm gonna roll that back. I'm gonna roll that back. Actually, I have 5 nieces and nephews and 2. I have a great niece and I'm gonna have a great nephew here in a couple months. I have 0 toys. I'm a bad aunt, aren't I? I'm a freaking terrible aunt. Does everyone else do you guys have toys in your house? Just like if you're an aunt and uncle. Okay, if you're an aunt or an uncle and you don't have kids that are young, right? You have no kids that live with you. Do you have random toys at your house, just like laying around in the living room? You got like a little kitchen set over here. Does anyone have that? Am I that? Because I don't. I just need to know if I need to be going to Target or like tomorrow, like to be getting a bunch of toys. Because I don't. I do have a game in the car. That's my niece's actually. I don't think anyone does. Everyone's like, no. Baby girl's like, I have no toys here. Just give them money. Yeah. At this point, get to the ducking point. That's what they want. I hate it, but that's what they want. Except for my oldest nephew. He will take a pair of $200, $300 shoes, $400 any day. That's what I usually get him. He usually gets shoes. I've bought that kid a lot of shoes. But he's a good kid. Back, he's an adult now, but he's a young adult. Yeah, I don't have any kids' toys. Oh, you have children's books and building blocks. Oh, actually, that'd be cute. They do have cute toys at like Target. Like, I think they're decorative, like toys, like the ones from what's her name that has the line there, like the big home line. Yeah, I just don't have it. A lot of these inquiries would occur concurrently with the crime scene investigation. Does she have kids? The county records office should give us this information. If so, couldn't you look around the house and you have like pictures of your children hanging up? I have pictures of my nieces and nephews, and I did have them hanging up at one point. Actually, no, I don't anymore. But I need to get them back up. We need better pictures, more pictures, like new pictures. but I did have those. So, I mean, but you would think like if it's, I think you would know. You don't have to go to the county records. I mean, you would have to go to the county records to eventually figure out their names and stuff, but I don't know. So it says calls to be made to all family members of the deceased would help narrow down locations. It says, so the welfare of the children should be ensured. We are aware that there are disheveled items of children's furniture around, but where are the kids? Calls to the clerk of court's office to see if there is a PFA out on the husband or boyfriend should be made. The husband or boyfriend of the deceased woman should be contacted to establish an alibi. He needs to be immediately located and questioned. The kids should be located as soon as possible, and an Amber Alert should be sent if they are not accounted for. Does their father even have rights to see the kids under normal circumstances, and did he take them? That wouldn't constitute for an Amber Alert. We're dealing with Travis Decker case right now because of that. Neighbors should be questioned to see if the father was around or if any suspicious person was present. Where were the neighbors when this happened? Their alibis should be evident and supported. Did they notice anything unusual? Maybe the father was seen with the kids leaving the scene. This can be important evidence if the father is not responding and the kids are not located. The Amber Alert can be set based on the vehicle plate numbers and description of the father if applicable. Yeah, if applicable, if he doesn't have custody of his kids. I mean, if this is a live-in father, with maybe, you're talking about domestic violence situation, that'd be like him living in the house. I think basically usually that happens in the house. Yeah. I think that, I don't know. That's just weird to me. Eyewitness and surveillance footage in the trailer park surrounding area, drugstore which oversees the trailer or nearby gas station can give us information on this crime. Surveillance footage is circumstantial evidence but may lead investigators in the right direction and to the apprehension of the suspect. Got that right. I mean, got that right. If we can't gather conclusive information by the end of the investigation, the FBI's Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, VICAP, can help. VICAP can be utilized if this case happens to be unrelated to a domestic dispute. This may be the work of a serial killer, though this is highly unlikely. Still, we are only looking at the facts of the investigation rather than conjecture, and we can only say for sure once the suspect is apprehended and the evidence is strong enough to say what happened with scientific certainty. The complications of evidence in the preliminary report, progress report, closing report, and prosecution report. My notes enabled that I wrote a thorough and accurate preliminary case report, which contained all the facts of the case. I will need to update it with a progress report as we track down suspects and eventually create the closing and prosecution reports, which will be used in court if we get the evidence of a specific person who committed this specific crime. The closing report will be the accumulation of all the facts after investigation and lab analysis, which lead to the most accurate reconstruction of the scene possible. The steps that I've listed will ensure that the prosecution report and closing report reflect a proper investigative procedure with full admissibility of evidence into court. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog snoring in between me, like reading. She was snoring loud. Wow, I just went all the way up. So let me go back down. So it says the steps that I have listed will ensure that the prosecution report and closing report reflect a proper investigation procedure with full admissibility of evidence into court. All the notifications were made, and the evidence chain of custody and investigative procedure ensure the integrity and accuracy of the evidence of the crime scene. With thorough documentation, it is unlikely that the defense will be able to discredit the investigation and render evidence inadmissible. This clear information will allow the jury to deliberate based on all the evidence. Finally, adding this information to the FBI's National Incident-Based Report System will allow the FBI's Uniform Crime Report to give summative information of all applicable crimes to help police officers, criminologists, and criminal investigators understand the social trends of crime, thus aiding future cases. To understand the social trends of crime, thus aiding future cases. Do you think Bryan might like be like, I mean, if I did get caught with this murder, maybe they'll use me as like someone that will help them capture people that were like, people with that would do this in the future? Does he think that he would like, I don't know. I mean, he wants to be a cop so bad, right? Like he wanted to be like not a cop, but like in law enforcement so bad, like in high school, college, all of it, right? He applied at the Moscow Police Department. They'd be like, "No, we knew you as a red flag then." Um, Maybe he knew, like, I am not getting there this way, so maybe he tried a different approach. I don't know. Happy Father's Day, Squeaky. I forgot to tell you that when you came in. Happy Father's Day to everybody. If you guys came in and you got the kids, let me know. That refrigerator box over a toy, yeah. Me too. I used to make cat houses out of my boxes back in the day. I thought I was cool. I mean, I am cool. I was cool. I am cool. What am I talking about? How are the Eagles doing, Ladybug? Are they okay? Oh, you're trying to make a fort. Let me know if you guys have any questions over like last night's live or anything too, because wasn't really in the chat. When we first got on the live, I was in my notes. So like when I'm in my notes, I'm on like a separate page, so I can't see you guys. Like I have you guys up here tonight, but last night I didn't think about that. I don't know. Sometimes I forget to do that. And then over here I have the iPad, so I can, if like you guys like when True Crime Lullaby sent me the super chat, that thing is like, like a big like line on my iPad. So that just like, this is my, I don't know, my good eye. So I can see that. But I was just like, what are you guys talking about? What's going on? I was like, I'm just over here reading. And then I was on the video so I could pause it. Like, just pause it whenever. So I was not watching the chat. So yeah. Well, there's Ash. Good night. Good night, Willows. Don't forget tomorrow's going to be fun. I'm going to let you guys listen to this video I did back. I mean, this was a year ago. So let's see what the date was. My description says, Kaylee's family has a little message for Harsh. I am putting it out there, and I will let you all decide what you think. This was December 14th, because he's wearing a Santa hat. So, I mean, 2023, he had 72.8K subs then, and now he has 102. Yeah. Oh, that was back when I used to put my channel in my little, for real, I don't even do that anymore. I need to do that. Where like, so you could be like a member or something. Yeah, this is like much better. Don't mind me. I'm just over here copying and pasting this real quick. Cause I'm like, that actually sounds better than what I put in my beginning of my like my videos. My old one. So yeah, I'll show you this picture of like, I'll show you what the video looks like. So the video is down. I wish I would have played the video now, kind of in a way, but I could barely get through it, and I didn't want to do that to y'all. Back then I was just like, I was very straightforward. But this is it. I wish I was on camera. That would have been freaking golden. One time not on camera. But yeah, this was December 14th, 2023. We are in 2025. So yeah, I'll show you guys that tomorrow though, because that'll be good. That'll be fun. Also, I'm going to go through a email that was just insanely put together by an insane person, in my opinion, my humblest opinion. saying Sigma Chi was involved, all the things, and then I'll show you like the whole video with the watermark. And I think I'll maybe figure out some other stuff to show you guys too. But yeah. I'm going to go back up and read your chat a little bit. Squeaky. That's the best kind of dad to have. Or like male figure, you know what I mean? Some of it legal, some of it not so much. You know what I mean? You just keep your mouth quiet. That's what you do. You just keep your mouth shut. Yeah, they did get to the ducking point. We should have coffee over this. We should have coffee. Or after this is over or something like that. He said, yeah. Yeah. So you know what our birds are doing, which is so weird and cool. Like I don't know birds. Like I don't speak bird. But I do speak pigeon now. I have a pigeon family that I think that they feel comfort with us. And that's why they keep coming back to have their babies, because I know that's Cher. I know that's Sunny and Cher. You cannot tell me no different. Well, they brought a baby back with them. And what they do is they will put their baby up there, little Chaz, and put the baby up there, and they will fly over and like get food, but they'll fly on this like really big branch, like over like here, and they'll watch. Vincent had to show me today. It took him like 30 minutes to show me the birds because I was like, where? I can't see them. I was like getting so mad when I can't see something. I was like, oh, I can see them now. Obviously, I was just really blind there. But yeah, so now I've got birds, a bird family. I'm considering mine, like literally they're mine. They're pigeon birds. People may not love pigeons. I don't know, but I do now. They're my buddies. And I didn't realize that pigeon had white eggs. They're really white. Yeah. Ooh, Karen Reed, they're in deliberations, aren't they? That's exactly how I feel, baby girl. I can just see the rage there. You know what I mean? Like mad, like just doing something out of like the moment and just being so, I think, intoxicated that you maybe almost didn't even realize what you did. Like you think you know what you did. You're pretty sure you know what you did, but you're praying that you didn't. That's what I think. I mean, that's just my opinion. Don't you come from me, Karen Reed, people. Thanks, Dana. Well, one of them was Adele because I thought I had two. I thought I had two different families, but it was the one same family. Came back this third time. I'm like, what do you want from us? You know, I wish we could like feed them, but we can't. We just leave them alone. But you can tell that they're very comfortable with us because I go on the balcony like every day, at least like a couple times throughout the day because I have like our trash out there, like this little trash can that I keep out there. And then when it gets full, I take it down. So like I keep that there. So I'm constantly, opening that door and the bird doesn't get scared and fly away. Like it literally just sits there and like stares at me. Sometimes it'll turn around and just stare me down. I make peace. And then I keep my lights on. I have these like lights above. And I think that I call them like their incubator. When you're like newborn baby, like when you have a baby, the baby goes from you into like, the heat lamp. That's how I picture that for the birds. I'm like, I'll leave it on for you. I won't turn it off. So he did, I think. Yeah. He did have plastic from the car light. And then what else there was something out like her glass was embedded into the bumper or something, or the glass that he was holding, or the glass that she was previously holding. Maybe that's what it was at the bar. Was like I think they're thinking maybe he had it in his hand or something. Like it was embedded in her backlight. Like I don't think that she hit his car backing out that night. She might have like tapped it, but I don't think she like hit it. I definitely don't think she hit it with enough force to break a tail light. But I hope that he gets justice. I hope that she gets justice if she didn't do it. You know what I mean? But I think she's the one that took the glass out of the bar, actually, but I think that he had it in his I think that she maybe handed it off to him. I think there's video of her taking it out, but don't quote me on that. But I because I thought it was like there's like a video of her doing it. Yeah, I don't think she meant to, like, hit him maybe, or maybe she did, and then she didn't mean to hit him with, like, force to kill him, but just to, like, get through to him. I think that she was trying to get something through to him. I think she was mad. Like, that's just my personal opinion. That's just I mean, I haven't watched the case, and I know that, I shouldn't base it off of, like, what I've seen off of her well, out of her own mouth. I mean, it was out of her own mouth on TV. Like, that's where I kinda get my information from. Her mouth and, her actions, just to me, I don't know. Good night, Claw. But, yeah, we don't know for sure what made the marks. I mean, because we have one person on this side saying the marks were made this way. We have one person on this side saying the marks were made this way. Basically, when you go to trial, it depends on who tells the better story, really. I mean, the evidence does come into play a lot, obviously, but if they forget to, I mean, it's literally the way that they tell the story. And I think that, um, I don't know. I think that we're going to find out in a few days. We'll find out, you know? I don't know. The glass on the SUV was sitting on the bumper/tailgate. How do we know that? It was sitting on there because the car was moving. I mean, could have had more than one glass in the car. I don't know. I mean, it's just me. It's just me basing I'm telling you what I'm basing it off of. So don't come for me. I'm basing it off of her words, her actual words, her actions since all of this has happened, her lack of respect. I just feel like she has no respect for, I mean, anybody but herself. Herself, she's definitely got some respect for herself. Um, we see that, every day that well, actually, vote on Friday. She looked, I don't know, was it Thursday or Friday? She didn't look too positive. She looked really worried, actually. I mean, I would be too if I was on trial for the murder of my boyfriend. That was a cop, beloved officer, took his niece and nephew in. I mean, that's a really that's a good man in my book. Just to associate yourself with Turtle Dick. I don't know. I just can't get over it. Maybe there'll be I was gonna see if there's anything on X before I got you off here. Mm. Nope, nothing really on there. Let's see. It looks like everyone's talking about the DoorDash driver. That's like the top messages go back like 2, and then there's like it's like years from now. Someone literally replied to something that Coffin Dapper said. I don't know, But the reply was, "This is golden." Because what she saw was not Bryan Kohberger, regardless of whether he's guilty or not. Okay. Okay, I was just seeing who was using that guy's videos. I don't know who, what? I don't know. Just trying to see if I could give this any more details on anything. Let's see. Oh, have you guys seen that, who sent it or who I saw it from? But, apparently, I think it's Born Betty, sounds like her. She's using AI she's been using the weird caricature, like, picture of Sebastian Rogers, but I wanna let you guys know, if you guys are following Sebastian Rogers' case, they're now using AI images of him. They're doing the same with Bryan Kohberger. Like, it's weird to me. I hate AI. I do. I mean, I hope that they're putting that they like that in their content, because like if you use any AI in your content, like on YouTube, you have to put it in your like like you have to let YouTube know it's altered content. So I watched maybe 2 hours of that trial. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to. I don't think it would. It didn't catch my attention. I don't know why. Uh, Dana, he's more than fanboying. He has like 16 charges of witness intimidation. He's like vile. I'm sorry if I don't care if you think Karen Reed is innocent or whatever you think. I don't care about that. But to boo a victim's family, you're trash. You're trash. All y'all are trash that are in that like down there, like that were holding all the same signs. The person made all the signs for the free Karen Reed movement for the last trial. We saw that. They literally were the same exact sign, but said something different. But they all used the same black tape and white backboard. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. She done made Turtle Boy stay up all night making these signs. It really was. It was like they all had the same sign. I was just like, oh my gosh. But no, I really, I mean, I just think that booing a victim's family is just how would you like feel if I don't know, like Steve and Christy were standing going into the courtroom, right? And you know, they probably will have this actually. And people were booing them. Or, you know, Ethan Chapin's family, Sandra Kernodle's family, Madison Mogen's family. I mean, just that's sad. It's sad. I hope that case though, I hope it works out for you know, whoever, whatever. I don't think that she should necessarily be like charged. I don't think she's even charged with murder. I don't even know if she's actually her if it's manslaughter or murder, or she's charged with both. But they, I mean, they could give her a manslaughter, and I don't know what the minimum jail time is, but they could just do minimum or something to where it's like not even that much. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, or they might find her. I personally don't think that they're going to come back and say not guilty. Like I don't think that 12 jurors are going to come back and say that she's not guilty. I don't think that at all. I just don't. I really don't. But I mean, they might have come back as a hung jury, and I guess a win's a win, you know. To me, I wouldn't consider that a win. Like a hung jury to me, that's not a win. That means somebody out there thinks I'm guilty of this, like, or more than one, I don't know. So, but thanks for being here with me tonight. I appreciate it. I'll be back on, oh no. Yeah, they're not allowed to, well, they shouldn't be allowed to do that in front of the courthouse anyway. They shouldn't have been allowed to do that the first trial. That was a mess. That was a mess. That was a absolute disgusting disaster. And it was just so bad to watch. It was bad. It was bad to watch. Squeaky wheel. That's a good question. I don't have an answer for that. I'm just trying to think of one, but I don't have an answer for that. But thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I'll be back on tomorrow night with you guys. I will see you guys here at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a Kohberger court hearing in a few days, 3 days. So look forward to that. We'll see if we're going to have a continuance. I'm saying no go. I mean, I'm saying that they're like, we're going, they're not getting their continuance, indefinite continuance that the defense wants. I think he's going to say, no, we're going to go ahead and go for trial. We're going to work all of this out, all these kinks out before trial. I think that's what he's going to say. So we'll see though. But thank you for being here. If you're watching on replay, let me know what you guys think of the live tonight, and let me know in the chat. If you guys get off the live, let me know in the comment section also what you thought of the live. But I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you, mods. Thank you, members. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, new subscribers, new people, everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to